Okay, so you've come this far. You've got your gas tank off, you've got the air box off, and you are looking at your engine. I have the AIS plates installed, so I don't need to remove my air induction. So next, I'm unclipping my spark plug wires, or whatever you want to call them on this fucking thing. Ignition coil wires. Next, I took off the crankcase breather hose, which was attached on like that. Next, I disconnected this hose from the bottom of the radiator and drained all the fluid, because I'm going to remove the radiator just because it's going to be easier. Some people say that you can just drop this and you have enough room, and I believe them, but I want more room than that just so that I don't wreck this. Next, I'm going to disconnect this hose, and this hose. And then I'm going to disconnect the radiator and put it out of the way. It really helps to heat things up with a heat gun when you're in sub-zero temperatures in Canada. Okay, those hoses are off. And I'm disconnecting the fan. And I'm taking out these two bolts. One on this side and one on the other side. And I'm pretty sure this just slides forward and then pops off. Okay, radiator is off. Now, I need to route this hose, which is currently underneath all of the wires, above the wires, just so I have a little more room to get this valve cover off. Alright, so now I've got the crankcase cover off, and I've rotated the flywheel to top dead center, and indicated by that notch there, by rotating that, and the two lobes on cylinder number 1 are now facing opposite of each other. So I'm going to take my feeler gauge and I'm going to measure in here and record those two. And there and there. Alright, so I've got this rotated 125 degrees before top dead center. That is indicated by the little triangle mark on the flywheel. And you all can also tell because it's got the two little dots on top of the camshafts that line up with the lines on the caps. So now, next step is to take out the cam chain tensioner right here. Pop that out. It's going to relieve the tension on this chain. Then I can take my cam covers off. And then I can access my valves and my shims. I marked the cam chain and the cams themselves so that I know where to put it back when I put it all back together. And I'm just loosening this, but it's a motherfucking bitch to get out. Alright, I've got all the bolts loosened up. Doing here, like cross patterns so that they come off evenly. I'm going to take all the bolts out, take the caps off, tie this chain up. I've already put this back in and loaded that so that I can just pull that out when I need to, and it will all be done. Alright, next I'm removing all of the shim covers with this suction cup. That's where the shim is.